All right, everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the Australian meetup. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So in part 1, we did some introductions. We talked about the diversity of the Australian landscape and some of the dangers that you face while you're you're out doing your passion there. Kind of wanted to talk a little bit about what your plans are now that, and before I even start with that, I was reading some articles on how you guys handled your lockdown over there. And can I just say what an amazing job your government's done, your people have done. You've done it without all the fuss that we've done over here, and you're trampling my rights and all that whole thing. I don't want to make this political, but just so impressed with how you guys handled everything over there. And I know the isolation helps a little bit, but had we done half of the job here that you guys done there, we wouldn't have 500,000 people dead. So, congratulations. Such just an amazing job that you guys did throughout this whole thing. So I wanted to talk about, now that hopefully it's coming to an end, vaccinations are rolling out, borders are opening up, just kind of go around the room and maybe tell us what your plans are now that you're a little bit more free to travel, and what you plan on doing with your channel as it relates to traveling.
Well, it's still early. I mean, I'd like to travel, but I don't want to necessarily book a flight to Tasmania or somewhere and it to be cancelled. So I mean, we're in the clear, but are we? So I just do a lot of driving for now, maybe this year even, see how we go in 6 months. But for me, to put $300-400 on an airplane ticket to fly somewhere and possibly have a lockdown, it's not on the cards for me. I don't think this year. I'll just probably still do a lot of local photography. Just, like I said, today's our first day they rolled out the vaccine, so hopefully that will help out. But nothing worse than having to buy an airplane ticket and then that city goes into lockdown, and then what do you do?
Ralph, what about you? You got any big plans?
No, I think I'm the same as Jeremy. There's plenty of places across the country and across the world I would love to have the coin to go and photograph, and also the time and the assurance post-COVID. But I think one of the significant things I reckon for us up here is because the borders finally seems to be laxed and will stay down for some time. They're not going to spring it on you in the middle of a photo shoot. Exploring some of northern New South Wales, like it's really beautiful, like Mount Warning along the coast and some of the waterfalls and rainforest there. It's just stunning. So, and you can do it in a day trip, which is really good. So I'm pretty keen to get into that. And also I've got a couple of trips unassociated with photography down to Sydney and down to Melbourne, where I will take my camera and I will vlog. So I'm really looking forward to that, especially Sydney in a couple of weeks. Hopefully if we get away with it, but it's looking all right. I've just Harbour Bridge, Opera House, was just stoked to get it into some different scenery. I think the other challenge is that if you go out every week, which we probably all would, you're often seeing the same thing. And so it's really good to be in a completely different space. I think it evokes that creativity, and it's just something really exciting about it, which I'm really looking forward to in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
How about you, Rory?
I'm the same. Like I won't be getting on any flights soon. I'm worried about who else is on there, and until the vaccines are a bit more, I guess, vast, that I won't be on any flights. I've got plans later in the year to go more north of Queensland, up near Cairns, past Cairns. So that'd be a bit different for me, as I've never really been up past, if anyone knows, Townsville. I've never been much north than that. So would like to go there and see what we can do. I also want to go to New South Wales, northern New South Wales, as you guys have mentioned. Pretty jealous of those 150 watt waterfalls that you're talking about, Glenn. But I'd like to do that, as I could probably, have a little trip driving down and staying in a few places. Very similar to what Jeremy said.
How about you, Glenn? What you got going on?
Yeah, look, I'm with Jeremy there. I'd like to go to Tasmania, around the Cradle Mountain area. I've been there many years ago, but I want to go back there. But you look at the accommodation, there's nothing's refundable. So if they pull the pin on not being able to travel, you've done your money. So I think I'll just I'll stay in New South Wales and try and pursue more of the waterfalls up here. And it's I've lived here for over 20 years and I've just scratched the surface. So my photography business will pick up now with workshops again, because that was put on hold for 12 months. Took a hit to the income. I couldn't book any classes. I couldn't have any students. That is now starting to filter through, which is good. But yeah, basically I'll be staying local until we get the total all clear from all departments, government, health, and whoever else wants to speak up about it. But no, it'll be just local for me. I'll do a bit of seascape stuff up on the central coast of New South Wales again. There's some good shots or good locations up there that I've been to many times, but I like to go back to some places because sometimes you miss things. But yeah, it'll be just local for me.
Do you guys, do you have a travel corridor with New Zealand? Is that open right now, or?
There was a bubble.
That's what maybe that's the word, bubble.
What happened?
If you fly to New Zealand, you got to quarantine for 2 weeks still.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have to do it when they come here.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jeremy. I think you're right. Like, you can come, if you come from Auckland, I think, you're right. If they can come here, they're okay. But if we go there, I think we've got to lock down.
2 weeks.
Is that because they virtually have no cases?
Basically, yeah. That's right. Yeah, she's handled it pretty good, the Kiwi Prime Minister. So, yeah, just safeguarding a country. Fair enough.
Now, Rory, I know you want to go back to the UK eventually, right?
Oh, mate, it's been a dream of mine for years. Was going to go back before my son was born, but then work picked up, so focused on that. And then we decided, it's time. So with the son, and then we had plans that when he was around 2, we would go back to the UK, which, I mean, it's coming up pretty fast. He'll be 2 in December this year. So I don't think that's going to happen. It'll probably be after that. But yeah, one day I hope so. I'd love to go to the UK and shoot with a lot of the guys we talked to there. It'd be awesome.
And Glenn, you come over to the US every year when you can?
Every year, about every 14 months, we come for 5 weeks. We were due to go this year. We're going to go to Utah.
Utah is amazing. Have you ever been there?
Yeah. No, I got as far as Arizona and we went across the top, just skimmed it. That was 2009, in November 2019, then COVID hit us. But we were due to go last year, and unfortunately we couldn't make it, of course. But Utah was on the list, and then we were going to go up to Alaska. I've got this thing in my head that I want to catch a helicopter and go out and photograph these bears, So that's been put on the back burner as well. But and at the end of the day, my kids have all left home. That's very, very good. One moved back, and but that's what it is. So we've got time now. You've got Rory there with a young family. Time is very precious.
Yep.
And as the kids get older, they move out. The first son moved out and the wife cried, and I cried the day the bugger moved back in. But, other than that, it's when you got a bit more time, you can pursue your interest in photography. So
I'll tell you what, Utah is absolutely spectacular. We used to live, it's called the Four Corners region. It's where Utah, Arizona, Colorado, and New Mexico all meet up. We lived right in the corner of New Mexico. And so, I mean, you could get into any one of those 3 states within a matter of minutes. And Colorado obviously is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But Utah is just spectacular. It's just out of this world.
Yeah. Well, we just, 2009, we just skimmed it from Arizona end. And I said to the wife, look, we've got to come back here. This is insane, this place. So, but when I was in Arizona, it was quite funny. I spent a bit of money and we went out with a Navajo Indian, and he took us out into areas where tourists can't go. And I couldn't believe it. I was in this 4-wheel drive at 4 o'clock in the morning in the middle of this desert. I mean, this guy could murder me. No one would ever find me,
Yeah.
So it was just so good. And then we done the afternoon one as well. But I'd like to see people travel to your country, because seriously, there are some places there that are just mind-blowing, and just photography, just every corner is a Kodak moment.
Do you ever come to the eastern part of the U.S., or are you mainly focused on the west?
No, been your way too. Been to Florida, got bowled over by the heat. Geez, man, it's hot over there. It's Florida. Yeah, went to Florida, spent some time there. I went to Fort Lauderdale, and we've seen a bit of your country, and we don't actually go there as tourists anymore. We actually go as observers because we learn when we go there. And great country, man, you got there. Really good. And I really encourage Australians to go and see your country because, boy, it's an eye-opener.
It's quite a trip over, though, especially from here where I live. You guys are.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you guys are literally the farthest place on the planet away from where I live. I think I said that to Jeremy when we were doing our interview. You know, like Perth, Australia is the farthest place on the planet from where I live in Boca Raton. So, I mean, the journey just to get there is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, well, when we do it, we go from Sydney to Auckland. We fly in New Zealand, great airline. So we stop at Auckland for 2 hours as a layoff, and then we fly to LA. Then we have probably another 2.5 hour layoff, and then we've got another, say, 5 hours to go across. And that's a massive day. But, you know, you just sleep it off when you get at the end. But I often joke with you guys over in the States, you put men on the moon, fair income, you know, you gave us Apple. Can you do us one favour? Can you move your country closer to ours? You know?
You think we could invent a faster airplane? I know the Concorde, you know, was popular there for a while, but it wasn't ours. We didn't invent it. You know, you think we could, you know, figure out something to go faster than 600 miles an hour? Well,
they're not making the A380s anymore. Boeing's, they're not doing them. Airbus isn't making them.
So I flew that to England a couple of years back. It was the best flight I've ever taken in my life. Couldn't even feel when you touched down in London, you couldn't even feel it hit the wheels hit the tarmac. You had to look to see if you're actually on the ground. It was pretty amazing.
Making an Airbus are making an A360 because it's more economical. So the big one's just too much for them. It's too much to run.
Hey, so next question. One thing that I have been noticing with you guys have really had some incredible growth on your channels here in the last few months. Have you noticed that? Have you felt that?
Little bit.
Peaks and troughs, I reckon.
Yeah, up and down.
But you guys are on a pretty steady climb, though. What do you, aside from the spectacular photography, what do you attribute that to?
If I knew that, I'd have a lot of growth. I don't understand the algorithm or what to put out. I think we'll all face the same thing. Sometimes you wake up and you're like, what the hell happened there? But then you look at it, you get that burst of excitement, but then
you lose two.
Doesn't happen. And then you lose two. I've had those.
Yeah. All the time.
But yeah, it's hard to answer, Paul. I don't know what we can attribute it to. Personally, I don't know what I can attribute it. Some growth. I haven't had that great. But I've had one or two that got a few subscribers, and then it just slows. So yeah, some videos do, some videos don't. I guess it depends on this crazy algorithm.
Yeah, I find if you put a good thumbnail up, it catches attention, and they will look at your video, Rory. If you, I believe in having a good thumbnail, as when they click on your photography YouTube channel, that thumbnail comes out. You just posted the video, and I've seen your videos. They're great, man. So, but the thumbnail, I think. I tweaked my thumbnails a bit, and automatically I've seen a bit of a spike in subs. But also, too, talking to a few other people, YouTube really isn't all that popular in Australia. Where you look at the subscription rate in America and the or Europe, it's massive, absolutely huge. But I think us Aussies, we just got to work a bit harder at it, I think. But I do believe the thumbnail is a secret.
Yeah, there's something I need to work. I noticed a few guys going back and changing them all to some general format. I need to do that because some of them are not good. There's
a YouTube guy from the States called Think Media. I don't know if you've ever seen it. That is a really good channel to sub to. He has a lot of ideas as to how to boost your channel, how to gain more subscribers. And I watch Think Media. It's a good channel to have a look at.
Yeah, I've seen that channel. It is good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Do you find that kind of frustrating, though, that your video will get viewed based on a thumbnail after all the hard work that you've gone through getting to your location and the photography and the vlogging? Don't you find that a little bit frustrating that it could be based?
No, not really, Paul. As long as they buy it, that's it. That's the salesman's attitude. Whatever it takes, as long as they buy it, I'm fine. But I think the thumbnail is a bit of a secret, and I learned that through Think Media actually. I thought, let's change this. You know, what's this guy talking about? So, yeah, the thumbnail has helped me personally with my channel.
But Jeremy and Ralph, you guys are both over 500 subs now, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
Finally getting there.
Congratulations, guys.
Slog, isn't it? It's just like,
it
a
is.
couple of things I've recently done, which I think, well, you never know, but the growth seems to have correlated with, is I've gone to two videos a week at the same time. So it's actually 1 a.m. Tuesday morning and 1 a.m. on Saturday morning, because most of my subscribers are in the US or overseas. And then the Aussie crew get it at 6 or 7 or whenever they wake up, if they happen to look. And I use TubeBuddy to work out the best keywords and combination of keywords. So yeah, it gives you a bit of a score, and you just muck about and with the idea that you have in mind until you're like, all right, this language is probably the best. And the thing that's frustrating me at the moment, most of my videos that are going off are all about gear reviews.
Yeah.
And I can't tell anyone this. I'm kind of sick of doing a gear review, and
Yeah.
they're a bit like, yeah, like you got to force yourself to be a bit creative, but it's nothing like going out and shooting in the real world. And yet everyone just wants gear reviews. So I'm not going to become a gear review channel, but yeah, that's where my, I don't know if my subscribers are, but my likes are definitely, or the views, sorry, are definitely, yeah, bumping up in that region. But it's good. It gives exposure to the rest of the channel. So yeah.
Jeremy, what do you attribute your success to? You've had some pretty good growth here.
Yeah, it's just slog, like Rory said. There's no, I don't know, just put a video up every week if you can. That's the bottom line. Just be consistent. So I've pretty much put a video up every week for the last 8 months. So that's it. I mean, sure, you can have good SEO, you know, titles and thumbnails, and that'll help, of course, but just be consistent, I guess, and just slog at it. So,
See, I'm a location guy. I watch everybody's vlogs because I'm interested in their locations. You know, if I wanted to learn, you know, some new technique or something, I don't. The people that I follow, I'm not watching for that kind of thing. I'm not watching for gear reviews.
Sure.
I'm not watching for new techniques and things like that. I'm watching for the location. That's what interests me. And then obviously the shot, because I think you guys are all fabulous photographers, you know. So if you were doing this amazing vlog and then came to the end with a terrible image, I wouldn't be watching you. But you know, I get to Ralph, I get what you're saying about gear reviews. You know, it's you know, I was talking to a UK photographer who finds every time he does more gear reviews, his views go way up. But he also gets some really opinionated comments too. You know, like people just lose their mind when you start talking about gear.
Yeah, you have an opinion, like you try and put it and just like state the facts. You go, and this is what I reckon. But people don't listen to the end of the video, and so they jump in and say, you should have said this. I'm like, I did, like it's 7 minutes. Or they're just like, that's not true. And I'm like, oh man, have I got something wrong? And I'll go back to the specs. I'm like, no, it is true. I got it. You say, and you can't please anyone. And then you got people that are way, way smarter than me. They're like, have you thought about the calibration of this and that? I'm like, oh, nope, probably should. So yeah, it's, you shoot a beautiful location. Everyone just goes, wow, that's nice. And I like that. It's good.
Yeah. Gear reviews seem to be, you get more of the thumbs down people. And yeah, for me personally, I don't think you'll ever see a gear review. Just, I don't need that kind of frustration, negativity in my life. And like you said, there's much smarter people out there than me as far as the specs of this and the technical aspect. And you know, I know how to use it. I may not know how to explain it, but I know how to use it. But I'm not going to tell you the science behind it either. So
I did one gear review of I just compared 3 action cameras, and I wanted to do it creatively, and so I gave them points based on the categories. Anyway, when it came out, I had 8 thumbs downs before anything else. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been so bad. So I pull it down, and it's actually now shifted radically. But it was a day or two there where I'm like, this is just rubbish. Oh my gosh.
Do you guys get offended when somebody hits the thumbs down button?
Well, I'll never forget my first one. Right? Like when you get your first thumbs down, you're like, what did I do? Now you get them. There's people that go around and dislike, and so what? It's interaction, right? So I guess
when your channel
don't come and dislike all my videos.
When your channel's small, I think you get more likes, and the more audience, the bigger audience you get, well, of course you're going to get that bigger range of dislikes and
Yeah. With anything, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, a couple months ago, I'm sure you guys know him, when Eddie Van Halen died, right? You know, everybody started listening to Van Halen again and watching videos. And, you know, I was watching, you know, he has a famous guitar solo called Eruption, right? Which is, you know, like 40 some years old now and still one of the, you know, best things ever written as far as guitar goes. And, you know, so I was watching it on YouTube and it had like, I don't know, like 10 million likes, right? But it also had like 100,000 thumbs down. Like, how can you just possibly hit thumbs down, you know, on something like that? It's just, you just can't please people, you know?
Yeah.
Well, no. Yeah. I remember 2019, it was December, and I went out to my local park here, and I just wanted to wish Merry Christmas to everybody. I wished Merry Christmas to my followers, to the subscribers, and someone gave it a thumbs down. I mean, what, he doesn't like Christmas, this guy? I mean, goodness sakes. But I wear it as a badge.
My hunch is that every person that gives a thumbs down isn't a creator, because every creator knows how much work goes into it. And so just, it's just, and I always find that too with the negative comments. When I look at the channel, I'm like, oh, you're not a creator. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if you are, you just have a different way of looking at it. Even if you don't agree, you just have a different way of communicating about it and talking about it. Yeah.
I just wish the people that hit the thumbs down button were required to leave a comment, because I would like to see what their rationale was. Not necessarily to attack them back, but, you know, like you said, you know, they're probably not a creator. You know, is probably somebody just clicking around and this isn't for me, so they hit the thumbs down button, which never even occurs to me to hit the thumbs down button on videos that I watch.
I think the most frustrating is when you put a video on someone unsubscribes. It's not like you're putting something offensive out, or, you know, something that's it's the same stuff you've been putting out. So that's the thing I don't get. Yeah.
What about so one thing that I've noticed since I started doing these vlogs is that I think my photography suffered a little bit. You know, before YouTube, I used to go out, I don't know, 4 or 5 times a week and just either just for the fun of it or to focus on practicing a new technique. And I felt my photography was at this fairly high level, you know, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. But now that we've all talked about the struggles of vlogging and doing photography at the same time, because you're under the gun, right? Especially if you're doing something like sunset or sunrise or something like that, you know, you only have a limited amount of time. And I feel like trying to show people more of a location than actually get the shot, which is completely backwards from what I want to do. I want to get the shot. Do you guys find struggles like that? Do you guys struggle with that kind of thing?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I find when I go out to take, I don't enjoy the photography experience when I have to vlog about it. I enjoy the vlogging, but I don't. It's just like, oh my gosh, you're juggling everything and you're dropping lenses and all the rest of it. It's like, oh. But also, I think nowadays I would choose to edit a video that I'm working on rather than go out for a shoot, because the video, so not all the time, but I think I shoot far less because of the editing, and I love the editing, but I think the photography definitely it takes a bit of a hit in a variety of ways.
I was in a waterfall the other day. I was standing in the water. My still camera tripod was in the water. The YouTube video tripod was in the water. I'm looking around. Geez, is that thing going to fall over? Geez, man, what am I going to do? I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And then, oh, God, then some tourists came down and it was, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm making a YouTube video. Oh, yeah, okay. So, it does. It slows us down. But the idea of landscape photography is to slow down. But it is hard. It's hard work, and I appreciate the guys here. You know, I've seen your videos, and they're absolutely outstanding. And I think, geez, these guys are working hard, and I put it together. I did another one today, and it's hard work, And well, to answer your question, Paul, it does slow us down, and it does probably detracts a little bit from what we're actually about. But I think I personally enjoy it. So let's take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I don't want to say that sorry, Rory, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for me, it's like the time pressure. It's I reckon it has made my photography worse because with limited time, you know, you may be like, oh no, it's Friday and I should put a video out tomorrow. I haven't done a video this week. So then you just go out. It may not be the ideal conditions. You may not be able to get to the location you want to, but you go out to try to make a video and then it's all not ideal, maybe rushed. That's, I guess, worst case scenario, but definitely can relate to that. So a couple of videos ago, I did like a photography challenge. And it was the worst day from what we were shooting. My photography was horrible, but we had to do it was the video. So that wasn't a day for photography. It was a day for the video. And that was difficult for me because I'm just used to going out and shooting and staying in a spot, waiting for something to happen, the light or something. So definitely. But in saying that, I reckon making videos is fun. Editing videos is fun, but there's a lot of pressure with time.
Yeah. You know, another thing that I've struggled with is that, you know, for I think 9 months now or 8 months, I've consistently put out a video every Monday morning. They're not always, you know, I'm kind of getting to that point where I feel like maybe I'm doing a disservice by doing it by a schedule, you know, as opposed to, you know, think about like somebody who paints or somebody who records music for a living. You know, if you try to release an album, like a brand new album every 6 months, you know, your quality is going to go down. So I think I'm going to, you know, if I have to miss a Monday here and there, you know, just because, you know, I need to go out and get better content or put a little bit more into it, I think I'd rather do that than stick by a schedule. You know, it just stifles the creative flow for me.
Yeah. You got to avoid burnout as well. I kind of had that around Christmas time. I'm sure we all have, right? Creativity burnout, or you just need time out. And I think you can see on some channels that take a month off and come back with a video. They've been working on it and the quality, and it goes. But we're also worried about that schedule. I know I am, but I reckon maybe putting a video out when you're ready may be better, but I have no idea how YouTube works. So
what else, you guys? We're probably down to about the last 10 minutes here, guys. So what else can we expect from you guys going forward here, 2021?
More content. I'm just looking at the diary here where I'm going to go. The next location I'll be photographing is called Mermaid's Cave. And in 1985, Mermaid's Cave featured in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Cool.
And yeah, so it's a great location.
The rework of the movie, that was sick.
Yeah, they filmed an episode, or part of that movie was filmed at Mermaid's Cave. It only works after a lot of rain. So it's actually rain. I'm looking out there. It's actually raining here now. So hopefully by the weekend it'll be flowing really, really nicely. It's a cut-in cave. It's a beautiful, great composition. So that's the next one for me, plus a few others. But yeah, I'm just staying local and targeting these waterfalls. For as long as it rains here, I know the waterfalls are running. So it's very, very weather dependent here.
Cool.
But we've had a lot of rain the last 10 days. But Mermaid's Cave is the next one to be done. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Ralph, we got more like cool street photography and light trails and stuff coming too?
Yeah, I actually went out a couple of nights ago. First time I've ever done it, I've got a new 85mm prime 1.4. And so I just took out that and the body. So just that, no other gear at all. I felt like I was naked. It was quite daunting, and it's really funny because I've not shot really on an 85 before, and you put it up to your eye and you're like, oh my gosh, everything's cropped in.
Yep.
Like you look at this beautiful shit, you're like, yes, and you blink and I go, oh my gosh. So I vlogged it too, so it was really interesting to be in that space. And I found, and I don't know how to juggle this, that I'll go for a photo shoot and I'll take my video camera and I'll end up vlogging it. And I think I get a little bit less of an experience out of the photo shoot, but I get a video. And so I'm always like, oh, do I take it and do I not?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool just to take the lens out. And I'll probably do a bit more of that because I felt like I was far more confident with the lens and took some really good shots by the end of the night, just by limiting myself. And you know, when you don't have that lens and you're like, oh, if only I had that. I'm like, well, it's just this. So that was good fun. And it'd be good to do some more collabs, like hung out with Rory and a guy, Shane Moss.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he's a legend. So it's been fun to learn about how you do that. I don't think I'm very good at it, but it was really cool to shoot with somebody else, and you're hanging out and you're chatting, but you're also learning from each other and experiencing the same thing, and then to see the finished products that are really similar but really different. I love that. So that'd be cool to do more of.
Looking forward to it, guys. Jeremy, we're gonna do a collab this year, right?
Yeah, we should do one.
Yeah, I'm down.
For sure, yeah. Just work something out.
All right. We'll message on the side.
For sure.
And Rory, what else can we expect from you soon?
More of the same, landscape photography, Lightroom videos. I've also got part 2 of that collab coming up where I try street photography, and yeah, I'm really worried about that one. I don't think setting up my tripod in the middle of a city center and just doing panoramas is street photography. So yeah, wish me luck. I have no idea. I've been watching like how-to videos.
I would love to come to either Gold Coast or Brisbane, because I've seen your skyline there, Rory, in Brisbane. It's amazing. I would love to do some light trails and street photography there. For one, it just seems a little bit safer than going down to Miami here.
Yeah. Not really too dangerous here.
Yeah. I just think with that skyline and the city lights and stuff, it would just be an amazing place to do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Mate, I reckon it would be. I'd love to do more of that as well, but I'll have to improve my skills a bit. I reckon street photography is not my strength.
Yeah. Practice, right? That's how we get better.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're about to get cut off. So I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight, or this morning, tonight for you. But yeah, it's been a pleasure to talk to Jeremy and Rory again and get to meet you, Ralph and Glenn, finally in person. I appreciate you taking the time and coming on our show. I'm going to split this up into 2 parts. So here in the next 2 Fridays, that I'll get this up on YouTube, and I'll try to link all of your social media channels. So I got a little bit of research to do, but I think I follow most of you guys on most of your social media. So, but thank you guys so much for everything. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to more of your brilliant content coming.
You too. Thanks a lot, Paul.
Really appreciate it.
Guys, thank you all so much.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Cheers.
See you, boys.
Thanks, guys.
You.